Hello and welcome to a special edition of The Big Fight coming to you from Mumbai. This city and the entire country, actually large parts of the world as well, have spent this entire week focused on really just one issue, and that is Salman Khan, what happened in his case. First, the jail sentence, the conviction, the jail sentence, and then the interim bail, and then finally suspended till finally pending appeal. And that's thrown up all sorts of questions. Are celebrities treated harsher, or do celebrities just simply get away? And today we are going to be discussing on this episode of The Big Fight not just the issues around Salman Khan, but also some of the broader questions about justice itself. And is there differential justice for the rich and for the poor, between celebrities and non-celebrities? And by the way, there are some who feel that the rich and the famous get it in the neck even more than the others do, and some examples are taken of that. And let me introduce a panel of just about everyone who's really been weighing in very heavily all week long on this particular issue. So let me start off by Abha Singh, activist, lawyer, one of the key people in everything that's happened this week. So we'll be getting your take on it. And somebody else who's been a key player in this entire case, as in fact he was in the case of Sanjay Dutt as well, is Satish Manishinde, senior advocate. So wonderful to have you with us. Nikhil Wagle, one of the top journalists in the country, great to have you with us. Shaina NC, she is spokesperson BJP, but here in her capacity as a family friend. So thanks for being with us. Rana Ayub's been weighing in on this as well. Samir Soni, another friend of Salman's, has been supporting him and has strong views on what's been happening. And Bachchi Karkaria, author, columnist, thank you so much, all of you, for being with us. We're also going to be joined in just a couple of minutes by Gaurav Bhatia. We'll be asking him on a couple of other high-profile cases, such as those of Subverted, which also have been attracting a fair amount of attention. But first, let's just start off with Salman Khan and all the issues around it. It's been your view, Abha, that justice has been almost systematically subverted in this case. Why is it that you feel that way? And after what's happened on Friday, does that add to your views in one way or the other?
See, in the year 2012 November, we had done a press conference where we had put up the papers that how Mumbai police in a very systematic way was helping Salman Khan by not issuing the summons to the witnesses. In fact, we put up the doctor's case where they couldn't find the doctors, and later on when in the Sessions Court the matter came, they said the doctor who had attended had left the country and he had gone away. In fact, for the perjury issue which we put up on 23rd April when we were fighting in the Sessions Court, we said Kamal Khan, who was the key star witness, his deposition was dropped. In fact, his name is there in the witness list of 64. And
Abha, I'm going to just pause you. I mean, we've heard what all of these points, and I don't want to retry the entire Salman Khan case right now. It will come up in appeal. All of the points that you have made will come up. So just want to get you on the broader issue, though. Your contention has been that justice has been, whatever the reasons are, which I'm sure you're outlining.
Which hit and run case has gone for 13 years. Nuria Haveliwala's was 2008, and in 4 years it reached its logical conclusion. Even on Friday, when the sentence was read out, as per rule, it is the bail finishes. The bail bond stands rejected. He should have been arrested. But what happened is immediately they moved the High Court, and the High Court gives him an extended bail of 48 hours. The biggest issue is an accused gets bail, a convict suspension of sentence is done, and when the case came up before the judge, he said, have I been misled? He wanted an inquiry to be done that how only the operative order was put up, and he was on the defensive. You could very well make out that had it been any other person, he would have been arrested, and that is what the judge said, that 48 hours, maybe he should have been in the prison, but he got the benefit because the defense lawyers moved with such an alacrity, and even with an operative order, when the whole certified order was there in the evening, with an operative order, they went ahead.
Satish, how do you respond to what she's saying?
I don't think anything has been subverted in this case. Not because I like Salman, but because I have been seeing this case right from the first day. First of all, one should understand that moment a judgment is delivered, he is supposed to get a copy free of cost immediately because he is a convict. This was not done, and he did not know on what grounds he had been convicted to move the higher courts. So the legal team, which was well prepared much before what had happened in the court, moved the High Court immediately. The High Court heard the matter at 4:30 and granted him bail because he had not even been given a copy of the order like in the Sanjay Dutt's case. Same thing had happened in Sanjay Dutt's case. So the judge was
Is
not
that
wrong.
to some extent a technicality? I'm just trying to figure out whether that would have
Sanjay
applied.
Dutt was in the jail for 20 days because interim
don't
bail
think
was
so.
not denied to him. No, you please check the papers.
No, anyway,
And,
I'm not going to
even
dispute.
Jayalalitha was denied
I'm not
his
going to
interim
go
bail.
in a postmortem
There is
of what
no
has happened.
concept of interim
Sanjay
bail.
Dutt got bail on the first day when the matter was heard in the Supreme Court. Here, Salman was lucky because the Sessions Court was located right next to the High Court, and the lawyers' team moved the High Court immediately. So there's nothing wrong about it.
But the way justice works in this country, I want to ask you a direct question that would the same speed have happened had it been a taxi driver? Let's say it is a taxi driver or a best bus driver out there who'd actually done it. Would it have happened in quite the same manner?
You know, you must.
Oh, he didn't get a copy of the
you
order
must
and
know,
therefore
you must
he's
know
gonna go.
one thing, that in this case, Salman's team was prepared for the worst right from the beginning. Whereas in a taxi driver's case, he has no money to engage a lawyer. I can ask the same
So
question.
justice is not equal, you're saying.
I can
you can
ask the
afford the
same-
good lawyers, you get
If
away.
the lawyers are not prepared, how can he move the Supreme Court or the High Court?
Okay. That's not necessarily Salman Khan's fault or anybody else's fault, but in a sense it's sad.
It's definitely sad. You know, in our country, the law may be equal to all, but it is on paper. The law favors the rich, law favors the privileged and famous person. They can subvert the system. In Salman Khan's case, I am not disputing this bail because bail is a rule and jail is an exception. I accept that. But because Salman could pay a big fat fee and he could fly a lawyer from Delhi to Mumbai, he can get a bail with super fast speed.
You know, in this
They-
case,
there are-
in
just
this
a
case,
minute.
Harish Salve was not specially flown. He was arguing the
Let-
Vodafone
but-
matter.
but-
He happened to be in
but
Bombay.
can a
That's how
common
he was
person
engaged.
If you have
afford
flown
it?
down,
Why
it's
should-
okay.
Then
If you can
for
afford to
all
fly
you know-
lawyers down, fine.
For all you know-
it was
for
wrong.
all you know-
He could not have got bail because when he became a
For all you
convict,
know,
it was a
Harish may
suspension
not
of
even have
sentence.
charged a penny.
So
I am
they
not
have
against any
technically
person.
the judge has
You see,
heard
if you
by
have
giving
money,
him
you can
a
afford
bail
the
that
law
day.
and you can get
The
justice.
law was subverted while giving him a
For all you
bail
know-
on
Wait.
Friday.
Hang
For
on.
all
This
you
is
know-
not about Salman or Harish Salve. Law is for moneyed person in this country. The system can be subverted
Okay.
by a powerful person.
I'm going to actually take that up forward and debate it because some will say actually sometimes if you're a celebrity, if you're a rich person, you can get it in the neck and you may have.
For all you know,
some people say that
Harish-
Sanjay Dutt
Harish
got it
may
in the
not
neck.
have charged a penny in this case. He may not have charged.
The issue
So
is
nobody
not
knows.
of money, but technicalities
So nobody
were not
knows.
followed, and he could
All
not
these-
have
all
got bail
these
on
public
Friday.
interest persons
And that
and
is why
NGOs
the
come only in
petition
these
has come up in
cases. Okay.
Supreme Court on 11th. This is going to be looked into.
And one should realize that all these NGOs and public-spirited lawyers and persons come only in cases where there's so much of publicity. Why don't they come in a common
No,
man's
I
case?
object.
They come in-
We
Why
did
don't they come in
Adarsh.
common man's
Adarsh
case?
was done.
This is
Not,
totally
it was
wrong.
not a public, that it was
This
a
is totally
celebrity
wrong.
case. Adarsh we did, and it became famous after we did the case when we made the CM
Okay.
resign. Adarsh is an example that we were not chasing celebrities. It were bureaucrats and corrupt politicians.
Shaina, we've heard a lot in the last 3-4 days. Half of Mumbai seems to have come out and said he's a good man, he's done so much philanthropy. Therefore, it's almost as if by implication, therefore he should get off.
Nobody subscribes to that, Vikram. I think it's important to understand.
I could read you a
that
lot of
when
Twitter
the
comments, but I'll tell you what, I'll
sessions-
start flashing
One
Twitter
second.
comments up right now.
Let me
which-
also please highlight here. When the Sessions Court Judge Deshpande announced his verdict, I don't think there was anyone who was disputing or suggesting that there should be, certain kind of leniency or fair play only vis-a-vis Salman. It was accepted, and as a law-abiding citizen, he did what he did. I don't think you can hold against Salman that the fact that he could have the best lawyers in the country. It's the prerogative of the defense as it is the prerogative of the prosecution or somebody to intervene
But
in
he
the
can afford
prosecution. He can afford them, absolutely, that's the point. But the fact that he got bail in the High Court is also part and parcel of the legal system. This support that is pouring in for obvious reasons or reasons of people being obliged or people feeling that he's philanthropic is completely independent of this case. It has nothing to do with influencing our judiciary or our judicial system.
Okay,
And I think that's apparent.
is it
and it's very
influencing it, and in
important
which
to
way
be-
is it influencing it?
Vikram, I think although the Salman Khan and Sanjay Dutt cases are technically very different, but from whatever I have seen, I think they are many parallels one can draw from both the cases. Both have been, whenever the cases came up, both have been called as the brash boys with golden heart, both of whom have stopped their cars and done charity. Both have played the religion card. Today we saw a family friend of Salman Khan, Zafar Sareshwala, going out and saying, so the UPA wanted to play the Hindu card, which is why Salman Khan was implicated in that case. No, I'm just saying in both the cases, why is it in both the cases, in both the Bollywood celebrity cases, do we need to come out with defenses on the lines of religion and political affiliations? In Sanjay Dutt's case, it isn't coming. I mean, why is Zafar Sareshwala
subscribing to it? The family is saying, let the judge just decide. None of us need to have an opinion on it.
That Zafar Sareshwala was the man who got Salman Khan to do that kite flying business with Narendra Modi. So I'm saying he's a very well-known family friend. Today he's speaking on behalf of the Salman Khan family. Why is it that like Sanjay Dutt?
No, Rana, are you drawing a really... Are you saying that because he was flying kites for Narendra Modi is why he's got away?
No, I'm just saying, I'm talking about why when China is saying what business is Sareshwala, I'm saying Sareshwala is a very good family friend and he's speaking on behalf, I'm saying Sareshwala is a family friend of the Salman Khan. He's speaking on behalf of them. Why is Salman Khan allowing...
But I mean, frankly, I've heard more...
Why is he allowing the religion card to be played in this case at all?
Okay, let China...
The family is saying it needs to be a fair trial and that's all they're...
But why are you bringing in the religion card in that case? Why are you being political? The family is allowing.
But hang on, Rana, hang on. There have been some crazy comments made all week long. I mean, we've heard comments which have actually really shocked everyone, saying that, oh, it's the poor's fault, why were they sleeping on the side of the road? I'm not even going to go down there.
I don't think we should waste time on that.
Yeah, I don't want to waste time on that, but I'm just saying you can't always judge every crazy comment that's made on your behalf.
No, but I'm saying,
and frankly, some of the alleged friends whom Salman has got out there who've been going out talking for him, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Because I think he's lost a certain amount of support.
Does he even know who's speaking
for
him and
isn't the point of putting out the charity business a huge... I mean, you are putting yourself up there because you're talking about your charity and being human. Why is that you need to be talking about
Samir.
now?
One is totally
All right. Firstly, I'm not here as a Salman's friend. He hasn't asked me to come here. I am from the same fraternity. Yes, I'm close to the family. Suhail is a dear friend of mine. That's why I'm here. I think we are being extremely idealistic, naive, if we believe that this country or any other country in the world is not divided into have and have-nots. That's true. And that doesn't apply just for law. Hang on, let me finish.
Justice should not...
Wait a minute, let me finish. If it doesn't apply to law, even in medicine, if I have the money, I can afford a good doctor. If you don't have the money, you can't. All right? Now, this is the system. But you can't hold that against the person. Now, for example, ideally then, what should happen is the court should have lawyers from their side for the prosecution and defense. Now you're saying, oh, you can defend yourself really well because you have the money. But that's a system. Whether we like it or not, whatever stand we take, the world is divided into have and have-nots.
But I get what he's saying, and I get what it's mean about health and education, all of that. But justice is supposed to be blind. Justice is supposed to be equal for everybody, and if it's not panning out that way when it comes to justice, then there is something which we need to worry about.
I did not agree with the declaration or the decision taken by the Sessions Court, but the fact that he got bail, I was happy because the judge overlooked the fact he was a celebrity or a common man. I've been just saying that from what we want from the law is A, whoever does any crime should be punished. The punishment should be according to the crime committed and not who he is.
Okay,
that's it.
Perfect, I get it. Bachchi, let me get you in, then I want to go to Gaurav Bhatia.
But the point is that a case is decided on the evidence that is produced, not on the evidence that is presumed, right? So if you have a clever lawyer, by which really means a lawyer you can pay, well then, you're going to be able to produce the right kind of evidence which will go in your favor. But I would, one minute, one moment. Now, before he was given that bail, you could, on Wednesday, you could well say that celebrity status went against Salman Khan, because nowhere is quantum of sentence decided on the same day. It's against the High Court rules, and my lawyer friends will bear me out on that. So you say, how come the judge in this big hurry, Deshpande, passed the case, declared him guilty, gave him the quantum of punishment all within hours? Then, of course, the whole battery of lawyers came in, and he managed to get this bail. Now we really, I mean, it's correct that, you know, the law may be equal for all, but how do you access that law? How do you access justice? That is the crucial point.
Right. So can I, you know, on that point, can sometimes celebrities and the rich get it in the neck even more? Gaurav Bhatia joining us. And Gaurav, I know you and others have argued on occasion that in some cases the rich and the famous and celebrities can actually get it in the neck worse than somebody else because of the amount of media attention that is focused on it and the judges taking a hard line. And you, for example, have sometimes referred to Subverted Roy's case and said that, you know, if it wasn't for him, maybe he wouldn't have stayed in jail for so long.
And not just in the case of Mr. Subroto Roy, but I have also represented Mr. Sanjay Dutt, and he had moved the Supreme Court asking for stay of his conviction because he wanted to contest an election. And I think somewhere there was a lot of media coverage, and though I would not say that the judiciary is influenced, but it can have an impact overall, because every day we hear from the newspapers to various channels discussing the same issue, and especially the lower judiciary in a way is somewhere susceptible to this pressure, because say if they give relief, there would be even more intense scrutiny.
Yeah, Bachchu.
Vikram, I think you need to make a distinction between rich and celebrity. One may be the other may not be the other, right? All rich men are not celebrities or women, and most celebrities are rich, though not necessarily that either. The celebrity case becomes a little more complicated than the rich person's case, because it can really swing either way. Like, I would imagine that in this particular case, I could well say that Judge Deshpande of the Sessions Court wanted to show that he wasn't swayed by all this Bollywood glamour, and he therefore went hammer and tongs and did it.
That's precisely, Bachchi, the point I'm trying to make. So, Satya Banisha, let me ask you that.
Look
Sometimes does it work in the other direction? Because to show that you're not being bothered, to show that you don't care who the person is, has it happened that the judges and the courts sometimes come down harsher?
You must look at this case and some other cases that I have dealt with. You know, if a celebrity is involved, there is so much of media coverage, electronic and print. It's likely to have a bearing on a judge that I am being watched. Firstly. Secondly, the amount of punishment, the maximum awardable in this case is 10 years. There is no minimum punishment. So I don't see why 5 years were given to him when he has not been proved to be a hardened criminal. He is not supposed to have violated any bail conditions. He is not supposed to have taken law into his hands in any other case. He is not supposed to have, you know...
So you're saying he got a harsher punishment than he could have got?
And I always of the view that's a harsher punishment, because in Alistair Parita's case, it was 3 years. In Nanda's case, it was 2 years. Why was this such a special case that he has been awarded 5 years?
Justice Tipse was asking the prosecution the same thing, and they were not so well prepared. Even we felt at some stage, even though we were interveners, we were trying to do the perjury on the police, that Alistair Pereira, but again in law, there is nothing called negative equality, that if you've given somebody 5 years, then you cannot give it.
Nikhil, so the point being made by Bachchi and by here is...
because of the 5 years, there is a sympathy towards Salman that the punishment is on the harsher side.
So were you saying, are you saying that it was deliberately a harsher sentence?
No, it was not deliberately, but as I said, negative equality, but let me tell you, by the time it comes to Supreme Court, it would be 2 years only.
Because we are doing injustice to Justice Deshpande, because in his 240-page verdict, he has explained in detail why he is giving 5 years punishment. Very few people have read this entire judgment. That is the problem. He has explained in very details. 240-page judgment.
My question is that one case gets 2 years, one case gets 5 years.
No, that is not the case.
That is not
read the judgment. What is the Indian constitution?
No,
don't read judgment. What is that?
The problem is that has gone against what he says is very right.
To run away from the law right from the beginning. That is the problem. The judge has explained that right from the day one.
One at a time. Samir.
What is this?
Okay, why did he not
they don't read anything and they just comment.
From what I understand, that the excessive 3 years that were given to him, from what you're saying, A, he ran away, he didn't try to help. Basically,
he didn't have a license.
Okay, license of 3 years, I don't know if that's adds or not, but anyway.
He didn't have a license.
Let me finish. So basically we're saying, once the event or the action took place, we are judging your conduct to how you reacted.
That is a very important
Yes,
part.
yes, yeah, ma'am, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yes, the conduct is very important. But where do you draw the line? After that conduct, he spent over crores of rupees helping people out, saving lives. Will that not be considered? If
Wait.
No.
Wait. How much should the victims in this case get? The victims in this case will get money.
No, because I am saying, if I was in an accident, if I was in an accident and I was scared, I'll be lynched, I was scared, I ran away, I'm a coward. Understand? I'm chicken. I understand. But is that unlawful?
But did he spend crores on those families, on those victims?
We are talking about
He did other philanthropic
Where
work.
was his compassion for his own constable Ravindra Patil? I mean, you spent crores you spent crores on people. Why does that have to include this case?
So
Why does it need to?
if Salman offers money, he's bribing. If he doesn't
No,
offer
but you
money,
were saying, hang on a minute, Sameer, this is your theory. You said that because he spent crores on charity, you should consider that. It's your theory.
You're misquoting. I am saying, if the conduct after the event is going to be considered, then wait.
There are enough crimes.
One at a time, guys.
Let me finish. I am saying either you decide. One is one is saying that the accident took place and he should be penalized for the accident. Agreed. If we're going to say that we're going to penalize him for what his behavior was after the accident, then where do you draw the line? At which point in time does that stop?
Has he not violated law?
I'm listening to this humbug argument for last whole week, and when this incident happened, Salman started this being human after that black buck case.
Totally.
It was not this institution was not started before that case. So he can murder anyone. He can.
Hang on. But China, let me get
That has nothing to do
hang on.
with his criminal offense.
Somebody can make a mistake and say, okay, I'm going to try and I'm feeling bad that whatever happened, these people got
That is a different issue.
Them out. But
he has committed a
generally
offense.
charitable work, can it influence the course of law? China.
1 minute. He doesn't want any sympathy, or
he wants it.
His
lawyer argued in the court.
His lawyer was
His
trying
lawyer
to
argued in
suggest
the
that he
session
has
court.
a health issue.
That-
Has anyone seen
No,
his
no,
reaction?
no.
See,
When
the
he
lawyer
tried to
got the
shut the
papers
lawyer
from
you
the
know what
family
his
only.
lawyers argued
How
in the
will the
court?
lawyer get the 3-year returns? The family gets the 3-year
Abaji,
returns.
1 sec. One at a time. China.
These are jaundiced eyes. Nobody
No, this is
wants.
not-
Of course,
You are
we did
running
not
away
want
with from the
Who's
facts.
running away? Nobody wants sympathy.
Vikram, his
based
lawyer
on
argued
being
in the
women or
court
any type
that
of
because
gender.
of his social work,
No
he should
way.
be pardoned.
No, Vikram.
Okay,
So just
Satish,
because argued in the
Satish,
court.
is that
One minute.
Satish, is that what's being said?
One of the considerations.
One at a time, Satish.
Some of the considerations for grant of excessive punishment is if he's a very hardened criminal, if his background has been very bad, if he is not likely to be reformed, and if he is given a harsher punishment, he would be reformed in a jail. These are no considerations. But
nobody is
one
trying to
would like to see the circumstances under which this offense took place. The circumstance was he went out. The allegation is that he was drunk. The time he went on the wheel, it can't be determined that he had all the knowledge that moment he sat on the wheel, he is going to kill somebody. So therefore,
We've heard
therefore,
so many,
therefore,
Satishji,
one of
we've
the
heard so
arguments
many
is-
different defenses of what happened.
Therefore,
He was
even if he
driving,
has
he
been
wasn't
convicted by a
driving,
trial court,
the
it is
piece
not
of the car
necessary
fell
that
on
he be
him.
upheld.
Say something.
Yeah.
The fact that it was an accident in itself says it was a mistake. Did he not cooperate with the
why
police,
did he
or
not
was
own
he
up?
absconded?
He did
One
not
second.
own up. That
One
also
second,
went against
1
him.
second. We've heard
But rushing the
everyone.
victim,
Just
rushing the
hear me
victim
out.
there and then may have saved lives.
He is a law-abiding citizen, and that's why it's not
He was
you,
not.
me,
No,
or
he
anyone
was
else
not.
who's
He
going to
was not.
decide.
He was
He ran away from
It's a
charge.
judge.
No,
It's
It's
a
a normal
judge.
thing.
Abha.
It's a normal thing in Mumbai. It's a normal thing in Mumbai.
Let him say
Hold on. Just listen to me. Why don't you listen to me?
Nobody can hear anything. Abha.
See, if you go by that, she says that he is law-abiding. Black Buck case is another law which he has done and the judgment is going to come. Then, if he was serious about it, why did he not own up? If they're talking of Alistair Pereira, they went and they said we've committed a crime.
surrendered himself
But
to the
no,
police
he
and
said
the
he has
police
not
didn't
done
come
it.
to arrest
After
him.
12 years, he gets a new defense person, a poor driver, exploiting
one
his
thing-
poverty to
one-
say,
one
come
thing
and
somebody
say
has
that
to
you have own
learn.
up. You know, he is exploiting poverty and you're talking of being human. A person who's innocent is brought to
Then
say
you
that
need to
I was
also
driving a
question
one
the
thing somebody
intervention
should
after
learn.
11 years.
One thing
Can I,
somebody should learn.
Manik, China,
How
how come,
1 minute.
how come after so many years, suddenly there's this driver who says, "Maine kiya."
I'll tell you why.
I mean,
I'll
it sounds
tell
a
you
bit
why.
like a...
The first opportunity he got to open his mouth in a court of law, according to
The
the
judge
law,
has said that Salman's father said
according to
he's
the
a
law,
driver. That is there
according
in
to
the
the
order.
law, is when he is called upon to give 313 statement in a court as to what defense does he have. That's the first time he got a chance to put his witness in the box, and that was his driver. When do you get a chance to prove your
That
defense?
is why, Vikram, it is necessary that Salman Khan comes and deposes.
I hate to... Can I interrupt all of you?
No, I want to say one very
Can I
valid
interrupt
thing,
all of you?
that Raveen
This
Patil...
is NDTV, not another channel. So we'll ask you all to...
No, but one
Please.
small thing I would like to say. There were two eyewitnesses in the car, Kamal Khan and Raveen Patil. Both their statements say that Salman was driving the vehicle and Raveen Patil was sitting next to him. So that is what has been taken, and they were deposition.
Okay, can we just stop retrying? Okay, just for 5 minutes, can I call a truce to this? We will go on hearing the Salman case. Can I ask you all now one major question though that I think we should address out here? Whatever happened in this case? If you ask me, yes, justice has been in a sense denied in this case because it's taken so long. And I'm sure it's not good for Salman either. So can I just ask all of you this? For there to be a case hanging over your head 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, if he's innocent, that's wrong. If he's guilty, it's sad that he's got away for so long. If he's innocent, then it's terrible that there's a case been hanging over his head for 10 to 15 years. So what are we saying about that for starters?
The case has been delayed not because of Salman's fault. He has exercised every right in the book to either go to the High Court or to go to the Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court sent it back to the trial court, the trial court took its own time to conduct a trial and refer it to the Sessions Court in 2013. So Salman can't be blamed for that.